Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy weekend, y'all. It's summer. How you guys doing? Shout out to Golden Goddess that made HBIC. How you doing, beautiful? Thank you for popping in. I've been catching in on your streams, and girl, they've been good. I've been eating popcorn, drinking my healthy water, slickering and smiling and kicking behind the scenes. Thank you for being here, beautiful. Shout out to Florida. Florida's in the building. How you guys doing? I hope all is well with everyone. This is episode 32 of Wine and FaceTime, and tonight I'm talking about policing our own community. Yes, so that's what I want to talk about. But before I get into all of that, I want to really talk to New Yorkers, people who live in the tri-state area right now. Like, have y'all seen the fact that the freaking MTA has the nerve to be raising the fare once again? So the fare is going to be going from like 275 to 290 one way to get on the public bus or public train to go to any destination one way. And in addition to that, congestion pricing is hitting this year as well in 2023. So people entering the city from different boroughs are going to be spending money just to enter the city. And it's just like fucking ridiculous. It's like so fucking ridiculous. But yeah, Gigi, we love you out here. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know me. I love you. I'm a fan. When I get my money, I'm gonna have to subscribe and be a member of your community and all of that because I see you got so much going on and I don't even know all of that. So I'm like, oh, my girl is doing big things. Like, this is a mentor. Like, I need to be signing up to her promos, her packages, her educational tutorials because obviously it's worth it. So shout out to Golden Goddess, y'all. Y'all hear me rambling, but you see that girl in the chat right now? Beautiful girl. Yeah, I need to like and subscribe to her channel. Like, she be spitting the fire, the tea, the facts, the all of that. Like, don't come for her if she did not send for you. You heard? So yeah, shout out to Golden Goddess. She's the HBIC of this. I love her. Also, guys, another thing for chit chat I wanted to talk to you guys about is real quick, not for nothing. I was watching Netflix recently and I came across this movie called Died Suddenly or Suddenly Died or something like that. But check it out on Netflix. If you got Netflix, you know what I'm saying? Look at the new recent movies that they dropped or, that top 10 list, whatever the case is. There's a new movie out right now called Suddenly Died or Died Suddenly. And it's all specifically, transparently about the freaking COVID-19 thing and all of this and the third. And there are some whistleblowers on this Netflix series that are pretty much whistleblowing things about they saw initially within the first year the vaccines came out and those first group of people that took the vaccine and how they, how embalmers, morticians, and funeral home directors saw something they've never seen in their entire history of those professions. Now let's backtrack real quick. Embalmers, morticians, funeral home directors, these are people who are in business for longevity. These people are in business because it's a successful business, like they stay, they're not quitting for the most part. They're in this business for like years and years and years. All of these whistleblowers, again, embalmers, morticians, funeral home directors, they're on this Netflix special called Died Suddenly or Suddenly Died, pretty much talking the tea and the facts about how that first group of people that got the vaccine before the government in certain states were pressuring people with their foot on their neck to get vaxxed. They're talking about pretty much what they seen in all these patients during the autopsy phase of preparing the bodies for their loved ones and how weird it was that they all had this foreign substance that looked like blood clots, etc., 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 etc. It's really good, really interesting. If you're that person that likes those kind of detailed, gory, bloody, messy kind of situations, you'll find this story really intriguing because it talks about everyone who has gotten 2 doses of the vax, specifically Pfizer and Moderna, and some other vaccine, whatever the case is. So I know I'm playing myself right now saying these words on YouTube right now, but fair use, whatever. Like, I'm not talking S about nothing. I'm not talking SHI about nothing. I'm just talking about a Netflix series or movie that's out right now, dropped in 2022, and it's 2023. So please catch that, yo. It's called Die Suddenly or Suddenly Died. very, very educational, influential movies talking about what we're going through right now throughout in these entire states of America, period, point blank. So you got facts. If you got the V and you got both of them, whatever the case is, go watch that movie real quick. Yes, but let me see what Golden is saying. She says, "Girl, I'm sleeping from mountain." Oh my God, no, beautiful. How did that happen? No, no memories until then. Girl, well, I be following up. I be checking in on you. Like I be looking behind the scenes. I be fake shy sometimes. When I get my ballsy up, I'm gonna jump on your panel, like, yo, New York is in the house without a doubt. But yes, guys, all right, I want to get into the main topic of this shit right now because I'm rambling, whatever the case is. Yo, like depending on wherever the hell you live at, it doesn't matter. What do you think if we really have the opportunity to police our own communities? Real talk. Like I really want to, chime in on that conversation right now. That's what I want to get across tonight because long story short, I really, really transparently feel like, people have so much to say about the police department. They have all this to say about, depending on if you're in a stand your ground state or if you're in a state where, you don't have that option. People have a lot to say about, how police, react and act in certain situations when 911 is called, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And certain people feel like, things could be done better, things should change, things should not be the way they are. And again, like, teach his own, like I actually took the NYPD police test. I live in New York City. Most of you guys know that. I took the NYPD police test. I passed the test. I got called off the list, and I got called off the list at the same time I just entered a district attorney's office. And for me, I just felt like, you know what? The district attorney's office is a great opportunity for me. And it's an opportunity where I'm not necessarily in the line of fire 24/7 as a mother of two children. So I really love what this DA's office is gonna, provide me learning, training, resources, tools, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm really grateful to be there. So I'm like, I'm gonna skip on NYPD. That alone, plus many other reasons. The reputation is not great, but outside of the reputation, of course, me being a New York City citizen, I lived in New York City my entire life, never resided in another state any time in my life. And I've lived in poverty areas, low income areas of New York City. And I've always seen the police in my environment as a child up until now. 41 years old, still see the police all the time, work with police, at my job, whatever the case is, like I just told you where I work. And at the end of the day, I have no issues personally, specifically with NYPD or any police department. Now, as you all have seen across America, we all have seen some crazy ass videos of police doing things that look wrong, that may be wrong, that are wrong, that been proven to be wrong, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? We all saw that, right? But again, that does not mean all police are bad. We know that. That does not speak for every police officer in every state in every country. No. There are some great officers out there, respectful, humble, have values, have morals, due diligence, appreciate the job for what it is. They want the job. It's something they had in their bloodline, on their family, or, it's a great way for them to make some money to buy a house or whatever. We all take different jobs within our cities or our communities or whatever state we live in to do the best we can for our families and for ourselves. So with that said, the person who chooses to be a police officer is a tough minded person, a person who has the capability and the mental to do the job, knowing there may be a time that they may not come home at ever, they may be hurt, they may be stressed out, they may be mentally drained, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just like a firefighter, just like an Army or a Marine or a Navy SEALs or a U.S. Coast Guard or anyone else. Some of us understand that when we take these jobs, or these careers, these are more careers versus jobs. Some of us know that when we take on these careers, there are risks with them. Not to say there's no risk with being a fast food restaurant worker or an administrative assistant or security guard. Risks are around us 24/7. We all know that. But the point I'm making is, in these professions, there's a good chance you can get hurt in a line of fire, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Shout out to the chat. Hey, Uncommon Sister Holding it Grown. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. I'm gonna go through these comments right now. Yeah, Gigi, I'm like, girl, like we gotta talk offline because I don't even put all your business out there. I know that, but you're a fucking great YouTube content creator, and I look up to you, and I know you already know that. But girl, you redone this shit so many times, and you keep hitting that fucking threshold, and you keep doing what you do. So you're amazing. No matter how many times you start over, girl, you still get back to the bag. So you that girl. You know what I'm saying? You are, and I'm happy I don't have no haters yet, but I know the motherfuckers is coming soon. But anyway, though, you hold it down. Like, you know how to do this. Like, you really need to be given training tutorials on how to grow your channel in 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. Link in bio. You really, really do, because you do it so effortlessly. So yeah, guys. With all that said, just so far, it was a lot again, but tonight's conversation is specifically about, should we police our own community? If we police our own communities, the Black and Brown and Latino areas, the Caucasian areas, the Asian areas, the Caribbean areas, the Latino areas, all the different races and cultures of, communities we have out there, would our communities be better? Would it be a situation where crime would be lower? Crime wouldn't be as much, because again, all of us from different communities and backgrounds and everything, we all know our people. We know how to get to our people, so we feel. We know how to reach to our people, so to say. We kind of know when we see them outside in the streets doing bad, who's this, who's that, who's the dealer, who's the pedophile, or who's the robber. Like, we all know what these people look like offhand, off target. You know what I'm saying? We know what it looks like. Versus sometimes, a new police officer, who don't have that background or experience, may not know any of those things, right? Because they have to learn to get that experience to get it on the job and know how to, deal with people and communicate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, guys, do you think it would be a great idea if instead of us having people police our own communities, that we took on the job ourselves? Chat in, time in. Please put a comment in the chat if you're watching live on the replay. Let me know what you think. For me, it's a hard question to answer, because there comes with so much more with that question. So much more comes with that question. It's not simple, yeah, because we know how to treat our people, or no, because people won't be doing too much and having favoritism, because people won't have best friends and buddies, etc., etc., etc. Like, it's a realistic conversation, because all across America, a lot of people are complaining about how they feel there's injustice and there's no real supportive law enforcement that's valuable, and so much to say, clean. A lot of conversations are coming up about scandals and stuff like that, that again does not speak for every police officer in every state of the country of America. No, we all know there are great officers out here. There are great people in high places, in all places, in that law enforcement field, etc., etc., etc. So, do you guys think we've come to the point where we can no longer trust the office, the law enforcement area, and we got to, take it in our own hands? Or is there just certain things we need to tweak within our law enforcement to make things better, to fit us more appropriately? What do you guys think about that? I've been thinking about, I've been like having reservations about having this conversation for, several reasons, for certain reasons. Obviously, some of you who get it will get it, But again, I have no issues with law enforcement or any kind of, of authority, because I haven't been at their end of the stick, for doing something I'm supposed to be doing. So why should I? You know what I'm saying? Like, none at all. Like, that doesn't affect me directly. But again, we all watch the news in our areas. We see the crime. We see the young people. We see the wrong. We see the injustice. Going back to the George Floyds and Kwalik Browder and Trayvon Martin. Like, we've all seen this, not just during Black History Month, but when the news is happening. Some of us are forgetting the names of the people that are just being murdered, just for no reason, or accidentally, or on the hush hush, or swept under the rug. I think there's just so many, there's just so many. And it's to the point where, sometimes we forget them. We got the Breonna Taylors, the Sandra Blands. There's so many. I think there's another guy, he was shot in the car with his girlfriend and his daughter in the back seat. Raphael something, or I forgot his name. God forgive me, but you guys know, Michael Brown. There's so many, So again, they all go back to how we feel there's an injustice in certain areas, certain states, with certain forms of authority, and to the point where there's all these movements thereafter. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't support or condone or give any money to any of these associations I'm talking about. Have no investments, anything like that. No affiliates program, no nothing. I'm just regular citizen talking my ish out here on YouTube like everybody else. But what do you guys really think? Is it just me? Am I the only one thinking like this? I know I'm not because I'm seeing about it on blogs, social media, news outlets. Those of you who watch InfoWars, it's real out here. It's really real out here. So, what do you guys think? Drop a comment in the chat right now. You know what I'm saying? If you have anything to add to this, you know what I'm saying? If you have any viewpoints or ideas about this, again, the replay also do the same thing as well. But I think this is a realistic conversation for us to have, because we're seeing a lot of senseless murders, a lot of our people, you know what I'm saying, locked down for too long, you know what I'm saying? And again, not everyone's, you know what I'm saying, perfect. Of course, we're not saying that. Not everyone's perfect. By the end of the day, like, are we satisfied with what we have, where we are living, as far as, what justice looks like, what protection looks like, what protect and serve looks like, what injustice looks like, what I'm saying, what discrimination, racism, like, are we all, what I'm saying, hands down satisfied with how it goes down in our communities? It's a realistic question. And for me, I just feel like, again, I have no personal issues, but we see it so much that we're almost desensitized on some areas when it comes to this conversation. It's just really, really interesting. Things that make you go, we've been marching forever, we've been protesting forever, we've been wearing t-shirts forever, we've been painting murals forever, we've been doing all these acts forever to try to, move further along in the system and break the chain and be better and, be at a place where we feel like, we don't receive these, these penalties or injustices or crimes or anything like that. So does it have anything to do with us possibly taking control of our community or no? So I'm looking at some comments in the chat from Gigi. She says, like any group, there's good and bad. Absolutely. She also says, I think we're close to the end time. Society is the dumps. Yeah, a lot of seniors and elders and say stuff like that. Like these are the last days or the end days and stuff like that. It's really, really trippy and weird like that. It really is because I'm at a point where, I don't want my kid traveling in New York City on the train or the bus by herself. And she's 14 years old. Because I just feel like there's just so much that can happen. And besides her having, maybe being borderline on the spectrum and having a speech delay, whatever the case is, there's just no one that's going to protect her, in my opinion, better than me, her father, and, people that genuinely love her. And it's just like there's a lot of mental health out here in the world. A lot of people who are just mentally disturbed, schizophrenic, bipolar, all these other kind of acronyms and letters and stuff like that. And, who's to say that we're treating them in the best accord with the method we're giving? Who's to say that's the right practice? Who's to say there shouldn't be another practice? Like, yes, Golden, like the train is so dangerous, like elderly and seniors and women and kids are always vulnerable targets, like you can't look like you got money, what I'm saying? If you look like you got money, you're definitely a target, so it's hard, it really is hard. Like, how do we make the community better? What can we do? Is it a realistic situation that can make us feel safe with our children in our own communities? Most of us live in, I would say, low to middle class incomes, what I'm saying? So we all see the neighborhood that's a little bit dark, that's a little bit gloomy, that's a little bit unsafe, that we got to go through to get to the supermarket, to get to the laundromat, to get to our train station, or to get to our favorite spots to get food. We want to go take out, like that creepy, weird areas in every neighborhood of all across the state, all across the country. So what is the best solution since so many of us feel so unsafe in these streets when we're, doing regular things that we don't feel like, we should be targeted for in these situations? Again, robberies, pedophiles, missing children all the time, getting snatched, grown women getting snatched. You can't look too sexy or look too vulnerable or look too distracted. It's like times have changed so much. So again, like there's a lot of talk about, defunding the police, stop and frisk, who wants to be a police officer, the mental who has the mental health to be a police officer with all the stress that job comes on with, like who should be an officer, who should not be an officer, when an officer should be laid off, when he should be put on desk duty, he or she, like what do you guys really think about this? Is this are these even things you actually even think about? I kind of feel weird because I feel like sometimes I only think about these things and no one else thinks about these things. It's just me, my little weird mental. But if you kind of like, come across this, you got kids, you live kind of in the hood or by the hood or too close to the neighborhood, chime in, tap in. Like I would really be interested to know what you think. I really would. Golden says evil and mental health running rapid. Absolutely. Like everybody got a freaking disorder at this point that we don't even know, that hasn't been diagnosed or we haven't even heard of yet, that researchers and doctors can't even explain. Jose says there are many demonic people out there. Absolutely. That's a whole fact. It's not safe anywhere really because of the predators. Yes, like if you download the Citizens app and you're a parent, you're gonna just fucking have anxiety because you're gonna see how many pedophiles live in your neighborhood. And nobody got a son or daughter. You just like you don't know what these pedophiles' choices are. Like you can't be just oh they only want little girls. Like they want little girls, little boys. That doesn't matter. Like and it's right in your back door. That you don't even know about it. That's the weird sick thing about it. It's right in your freaking back door. You have no idea about it. So I'm going to drop the link right now because I feel like, people may want to comment about this and share their experiences on what they think about their own communities and what it looks like where they are as far as policing and injustice. Some of you guys may live in a stand your ground state where, you have more opportunity to protect your own and, or protect yourself. You may feel like crime is not an issue for you because, you got your own back. I don't live in that state where I can just be busting down doors and busting people if I feel threatened or someone tried to rob me. I can't just shank someone or shoot someone. Like I definitely don't have that privilege. I gotta call 911 and hope that they don't hurt me. Like that's what is going on in my area. But a lot of us live in those type of areas. Some of us live in areas where we can have guns and we can do those kind of things. But not me. I don't live in that type of environment. And it is what it is. So I do have my first guest coming up for tonight. You guys know him very well. I'm gonna add to the stream right now, Mr. Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Keisha. Thank you very much for allowing me on your platform.
Of course, of course. What do you think about what I'm talking about tonight?
Okay, well, look, let's keep it real. I mean, there's always going to be issues with the police because as long as we depend on flawed human beings to do something that we would ask the normal citizen to do, which is basically protect life and property, okay, and then have to make second decisions. Not everyone has the mental capability to do so. And for us to police each other, I think it would just make the situation even worse because not all of us has the mental abilities to do so. And it also requires a great discipline many people do not have.
Very interesting. I respect that. I respect that.
Hmm.
Like a lot of people may feel the way you do.
Yeah, I mean, particularly now that I'm working overtime again. Now I'm working overtime at nights. That means I have to like navigate this public subway systems to get my and and the fact of the matter is I'm walking with the aid of a I could be easily become a target myself.
Understood. Do you feel safe commuting and traveling in a subway by yourself?
Well, look, I'm forever vigilant regarding my surroundings because you never know what's going to happen. And crime can happen anywhere, and that's something that that's very alarming. And when you think about um, you know how crime is now is getting back to the days what it was back in the 70s. And not only that, you have to think about this many people that have mental health issues that not being treated.
Agreed. Some people still think that mental health is a disease. I mean, not a disease, but like fake. It doesn't. It's not real. Some people really think that.
Well, let's take a look what has happened within the last 3.5 years. Okay, first of all, virtually every New Yorker has either lost someone because of COVID or know someone that died because of COVID. And not only that, all those people who lost for uncovid related issues. Back in 2020, I lost my oldest sister and my mom 6 months apart.
You know what, Gigi? That's a great question. Honestly, I'm gonna really say I have noticed more police in the New York City train stations within the last maybe 3 years. Thank God I don't have to take the train to work anymore at all. I can walk to work now. I'm so grateful for that. So grateful. But I am seeing a higher police presence, in my opinion. But I feel like there should be police at almost like every freaking train station, not just the major ones where the tourists are, where the money is. I feel like it should be everywhere because honestly, a lot of times, like police are not physically at the locations when the crimes are happening in the train sometimes. Not all the time. They're getting there late sometimes because they're not always there. They may be at a different area of the train, or they may be at Penn Station or Times Square, like the really populated area where there's like a lot of people or a lot of money sometimes. But I do see more of a presence, but I just feel like there's not enough police right now. Also, I feel like a lot of police have retired during the pandemic, during COVID, because they were sick or scared and everything. So like they're like so, I think, like understaffed. Jose, what do you think about that? What she's saying?
Okay, the problem is to adequately police into every subway system and what have you, and then patrol the entire New York City area. You're going to need a police force, at least 100,000 police officers and then some. That's the problem, because our subway system is so huge. I mean, it's going to take more than all the police officers that we have currently on the force just to cover the subways. Okay, never mind. Covering the subways, the main areas of traffic, what have you. Unfortunately, we do not have a large enough of a police presence to do so.
Yeah, I got called for the police department like 3 times this year,
Hmm. Yeah,
but I
I
just,
mean, look, the fact of the matter, yeah,
yeah, I can't do that right now.
look, realistically speaking, they do the things that most of us are afraid of doing. I mean, just think, you could be in Brownsville, you can be in East New York, you can be in the foreign section of the Bronx, okay, and you respond to a request for police presence. You don't know what's going to happen. It could be something simple as someone, being intoxicated to someone threatening someone's life. So there's really, you have no way, and you cannot let your guard down, because if you do that as a police officer, that can cost you your life.
Absolutely. You gotta hope that your fellow officers that's with you, your partners, that they're on the same timing with you too, so they have your back. God forbid something goes left, because as Golden said, and as we all know, mental health is a big thing right now. Especially since C-19 or whatever the case is. So a lot of people are just going through so much, and They're totally out of character and they have no support, no, no therapy, no meds, no nothing, and are acting very erratic. And everyone doesn't understand and realize that in real time.
No, I mean, unfortunately, people had mental health issues prior to COVID-19. With the onset, it just made things worse. I mean, not to mention the fact that you have over 1 million Americans who have died because of COVID-19. Well, think about all the businesses that were shut down permanently. Think about all the people who lost their jobs. Think of all the people who lost their homes because they couldn't pay their rent or their mortgages, what have you. Think about all the cases of domestic violence that shoot through the roof because both the man and the woman are home and they're stuck with each other.
Yeah, it's really a lot to take in. Like a lot of suicide was committed. As well. A lot of murders went up, suicides went up, robberies went up. A lot of crime increased during that time.
Yeah, exactly. And and the fact of the matter is, there is a big need for mental health services. The problem is we're still living in a society where people are too embarrassed to get mental health.
I agree. I feel like it's a stigma. Everyone doesn't agree about it. Everyone has a different feeling about it. Some people are like, negative towards you about it if you bring it up or admit you're going to see someone for that kind of service. It's definitely still frowned upon in certain communities.
Yeah, because men, particularly when it comes to men are supposed to tough her out. Men are supposed to be stoic and what have you. You don't know what some of these men have gone through. I mean, some of them gone through, a very messy divorce where, allegations of infidelity and what have you. Also, there's a lot of injustice has been done to certain segments of our community.
Absolutely. I was talking to somebody recently and I was telling them how, like, crime is not necessarily worse than it was in the 80s or 90s or 2000s, but something about crime today definitely surely feels like you just got to watch your back 24/7. You can't leave your kids with nobody. You can't trust nobody. Like, it's just so many different crimes going on that are so escalated and so much on TV and social media that it just seems like there's so much going on and not enough being done across the board everywhere. What do you think about that?
Well, look, I mean, another problem that we have here is we have huge segments of our society that are completely devoid of morals. When you have large members of your society without morals, I mean, they are capable of doing any sort of evil, and we have seen it today, where children have been attacked, the elderly has been attacked, um, people lives been taken away over silly and stupid stuff. It's disgusting.
It really, really is too. And I want to chime in on what Golden Goddess is saying right now. She says, I see places where these new drugs are taking over and it's eating their skin and they look like zombies. I forgot the name, but one place was Philly. I want to add to that. In my community, in my neighborhood, I'm noticing a lot too that there's the as far as controlled substances, drugs, you know what I'm saying? Illicit drugs, illegal drugs, real drugs. I feel like the whole opioid drug situation is a real thing. I'm seeing so many young kids, teenagers, young adults on drugs to the point where they look like they're 10 to 20 years older than what they really are. And on top of that, they are completely strung out on drugs looking like zombies, as she said, or some may call crackheads or fiends or whatever you may want to call them. And it's really, really sad. I've never seen this many young kids strung out on drugs to this extent. Like, I'm seeing children my eldest daughter age. Most of you guys know I have a 24-year-old daughter. I'm seeing people who are her age in my community completely strung out on drugs to the point where they are homeless, they're not eating, they don't have a home to go to, they're dirty, they're smelly, like it's really bad. And these are young adults, sometimes even teenagers. What do you want? Can you comment on about that in the Bronx, Jose? Are you seeing that on your end?
You know what? I have seen it in certain areas. First of all, good evening, Irby. Thank you for
Yes,
stopping
hi,
by.
Irby.
I mean, look, the problem is this: you have people that, Christ has become their God, or Christ has become their God, or any foreign substance has become their God. I mean, it is truly sad and it's really heartbreaking because basically anything to get that fix done. And it's really sad. And not only does it destroys these people, but it's also destroyed the families of these loved ones who see that these people suffer. And when you see who manage to remain sober and clean at the certain length of time, you have to encourage these people because they are you know dealing with the temptations of relapsing. And that's something no one can understand that if they have not experienced it for themselves.
Absolutely. Like my parents came from that. My parents definitely did and dabbed in drugs. As I was a child, as a baby, like they were in that 1980s crack era, whatever you want to call it, or getting high era, the 70s, whatever. Like they was all having a great time. I've never tried anything like that. Thank God. Don't want to try anything like that. But it's in all of our families. It's in someone's families in the chat. It's in my family, maybe in your family. We all know somebody who has family members who have dealt with drugs, in that way or in some way. Thank God, my parents are not strung out to this day. They both are clean and recovered, living their best life, trying to, stay strong all the way. But we all know someone who has, someone in their family that's struggling with drugs, whether it's legal drugs, illegal drugs, whatever. Like it's a thing, it's out there, it's not uncommon, it's known, like it's not a secret, and it just hits home too for me sometimes when I see people that I know and I'm like, oh my God, like what happened? Like, how did this happen to you? Short story. My daughter came home one day, I think for a holiday, to spend time with me. She doesn't live in the city. And we saw this young boy who I thought was a grown man, who wasn't a grown man. And she was telling me, like, oh my God, mom, he used to be so cute when we were in school. I had a crush on him at one point. I'm like, that old man, she's like, he's not an old man. She's like, he's my age. I'm like, he looks so bad that I thought he was like 40, 50, 30, 40, 50 years old. The boy's only 20 something years old. I had no idea. I'm like, oh my God, like it's happening more and more to younger and younger people. It's not just the seniors or the older women, it's even younger kids, and it's rapid, it's more, it's not just crack and everything. It's like people are saying in the chat, I don't know what the fentanyl crisis is unless I'm just mispronouncing it or whatever the case is. But I see Golden talking about, I don't know how to pronounce that either, but xylazine, don't get me wrong, you have to break it down for me, fentanyl. But it's just so much that's happening, and it's like the police can only do but so much. We know this, they can't make people stop using drugs. They can't make people stop buying drugs. Their goal is to get to the big person, the head honcho, the dealer, the people in the community that's providing the substance. Like we all get that, but it's like when it comes to this mental health and those people that are actually outside committing crimes because they're tripping off these drugs, is like how does the policing in that situation work in our communities? These people just cannot go to jail and just be released. They need more help than that. They need more support than that. They may need a hospital or institution, therapy, or something more than just being arrested for robbing someone or stealing from someone, because there's a deeper rooted issue there. I mean, any comments about that? What do you think about the whole mental health thing as far as what I'm talking about? Like these people who are mentally disturbed, whether it's for drugs or not for drugs, that are committing crimes and they're just going to jail and it's just not really helping anything. Okay, I may have lost Jose, but I'm gonna read some comments
Yeah,
to
I'm
see.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm still here.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Yes, I just kind of closed off for a moment. Uh, I guess all that overtime is doing is trying to hit me a little bit. But look, the fact of the matter is, we're dealing with an uptick in crime. We're dealing with mental with people um, who have alcohol and drug dependencies and what have you. But whenever there is a financial crisis, guess what? These resources are the first ones to get cut.
yeah, and that's unfortunate too because that's where the money is needed the most.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But unfortunately, not everyone see that as a priority. I mean, take a look of our local. We're fortunate that we have a crisis intervention program for our members can go to, and they can speak to trained personnel who are members who have MSWs, to deal with that, whatever their personal crisis, whether it be due to a death of a loved one, whether it be depression, whether it be um, going through some personal crisis, maybe a messy divorce. I mean, not everyone is as fortunate as we are that we have a crisis intervention program.
Absolutely. I want to say to Gigi, I agree with her. Yes, we need more accessible and free drug rehabs for sure. It shouldn't be based on the kind of insurance you have and how much money you make. Like if someone is struggling, it should be different forms of rehab that have different classifications of who can come. It shouldn't be just one way. And according to what you're saying, Jose, yes, I agree because I actually went to crisis intervention through the union EAP and had a session down here in Manhattan, earlier on in my career when I first joined the union and was a member. As soon as I came, like the first couple of years, dealing with personal stresses and work stresses and not performing well. And it was weird and creepy. And I felt like I was, crazy being there. But at the end of the day, like I was definitely at a point where I needed someone professional to talk to me about what I was feeling and what was going on. And, that worked for me.
Well, again, that's see the problem is that society paints a very negative picture on anyone that publicly acknowledges that they are going through a mental health crisis. I mean, we're supposed to be, you know, mature and adult and what have you, but yet no one knows what each individual has dealt with. No one knows of the emotional trauma that people involve. And then, instead of trying to, be understanding towards these people, you have people who want to ridicule them and call them crazy or whatever. And it's just that they're going through so much to unpack. And instead of getting, the love and support that they need, they're getting ridiculed.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially depending on the generation you grew up in. It could be almost like you're frowned upon for even thinking about it or talking about it.
Yeah. And that's why you have so many people, acting the way they do. It's just that, unfortunately, we have to like, you know, keep bottle out all the emotional trauma that that people go through. And the fact of the matter is that at one point that Gigi's highlighting is that sometimes social media makes it worse because it gets to be a comparison. Okay, this person is doing wonderful and I'm not doing wonderful. This person is getting to go travel all the other places, and then that person doesn't even get to go away for the weekend. It's just that the problem is social media can be used as a blessing or it can be used as a curse. It all depends on who's using it and for what purpose.
I definitely agree too because again, now we have people killing themselves on social media or being murdered on social media and it being televised on streaming apps such as, Netflix or Hulu or whatever the case is, so crimes are elevating and progressing and changing, as time goes along and it almost seems like law enforcement is not catching up with the time, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, look, to be perfectly honest, I mean, we expect so much from law enforcement. We expect them to be not only to enforce the law, we expect them to be mental health experts. And that is a great deal of pressure on anyone, period. Never mind someone that has the ability to arrest people and to actually use deadly force if necessary. Not to mention the amount of cyberbullying that's happening here in social media. In fact, I've known people that have been the victims of social media, and unfortunately, certain platforms have dropped the ball when it comes to dealing with these issues. I mean, um, when you can take someone's personal data and information and put it out there for everyone to see, that is a huge problem.
Absolutely. The comment is lit right now. Gigi, thanks for holding down. I really appreciate you, love. I've been trying to catch up on all your shit you've been doing, and I caught a lot of your videos recently. I've been commenting and liking and all of that. But I want to comment what you're talking about. Where the YouTube police when you need them? That would be very good if YouTube had police. I would apply for that job because I used to be a social media analyst, and what that pretty much means is I used to analyze social media profiles related to crimes that were happening and I loved that job. That job was so entertaining. It was so juicy because I feel like as a woman, we all nosy by nature. We like to look and snoop, and we all done broke our boyfriend phones and looked at his text messages or our husband or fiance, whatever the case is. We broke into his email before, so we like that kind of stuff. I would love YouTube. When you drop the YouTube police application, send it my way. I'm gonna apply. I want to be the snitch. I want to be the person like sniffing out the details and everything because I've been doing social media work for like a while. But that'd be a great idea if they had a YouTube police because it'd be random private body parts popping up in people chats and stuff like that. And people be, doing the AI technology and trying to take your voice and do other things with it. It's a lot. Like that would be a great job. They should do that because not for nothing, social media murders and deaths and like suicides are increasing. It's especially since the pandemic. It's a real thing. Comments, Jose?
Yeah, I mean, take a look at some of the things I have to. Yeah, take a look at some of the things I have to do on my platform. First of all, I mean, I have to put the subscriber mode, meaning that the only way that you can enter comments in the chat is you have to be a subscriber to try to deal with the trolls. And then any person that's new, I'm insisting that they can up in the background because the last thing you want, the last thing you need is have someone to flash some sort of genitalia. And speaking about people who've been harassed, and unfortunately, Gigi has gone through a lot of crap, because people, cannot deal with her success.
Exactly. Like, and that's the thing about Gigi. Like, I mean, I met her through you, and since I met her, I think she started over twice and got back to where she left off in 2.5 seconds. So, like, she definitely should be like doing a channel where she's teaching people how to get their subs up real quick. But 9.99. But the point I'm making is like, she's been here through these weird YouTube streets where suspicious things has happened and continue to elevate despite things happening without her control like what she mentioned earlier on in the beginning of the chat. So it's like some people just got the algorithm and the sway, to know how to like do this gradually. Some of us gonna have to learn and perfect it and tweak it as we go along. But like she naturally, genuinely gets this how it works, the algorithm thing, and she gets it. So like shout out to her because we're trying to get to that level. And unfortunately, the negative is that she's actually experienced some of these things you're saying that happens in these YouTube street, which is why we say we need YouTube police because it's crazy that people really try to study your video content that much to really try to report you to law enforcement. Like that's really kind of crazy, kind of Black Mirror ish.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you think about it, unfortunately, and people like Golden Goddess, have been, the victims of a lot of hate because people cannot deal with the success that she's done. I mean, look, she is not, no, this is not the first time that she had, that she built up a channel. She had another channel at least 2 or 3 times, but it was that unfortunately her haters have been relentless and what have you. It's bad enough when they attack a person, personally, but when they attack their loved ones, that's even worse, and actually put your private information for everyone to see. That's disgusting.
Absolutely, like that's whole next level, and that's definitely dangerous. But I feel like, of course, things like that happen when someone is on their way to the top. Like they don't want them to soar but so high. You can take it back to all kind of situations where someone of power was leading a big group and it wasn't what the agenda wanted. And here comes the haters to try to put a twig in the mix, or throw a wrench in the mix, to mess things up. So unfortunately, shit like that just happens. Like unfortunately, but again, a lot of us are not trying to be starting over all the time. So for those of us who can start over multiple times and still get to like the 1K, 2K, 3K, like that's very admirable and admirable, for many of us. I'm gonna speak for myself specifically, like that's definitely like okay, goals, motivation, like, don't quit, don't give up, just keep going. Like when your time and your season happens, it's gonna pop for you.
Yeah, I mean, look, the fact that Gigi has done as well, considering all the opposition that she has faced, it's a testimony to how great her content is. Okay, and okay, I mean,
Mhm.
people may not like the
Absolutely.
way she does things on her platform, but the fact of the matter is, hey, if you don't like a person's content, then just switch to another channel. It is that simple.
But as we all know, the haters that watch all of the content we do, especially like me and you, people that are small channels, they're not gonna hit that subscription button. They're not gonna hit that like button because they want us to struggle for the subs. So again, people, even when the content is not what they prefer or not what they like, people still jump in these chats and these YouTube streets, as I'm seeing with the subliminals or spying. We call them, I guess, silent watch hour people or whatever you want to call them. Like it's still helping the algorithm either way, but at the end of the day, like some people just there to make sure, I guess, they can control how successful you can get overnight or in general, just there watching in the low key, like, all right, let me see how we can mess this up for this person, just because there's nothing better going on for that person.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, um, as a municipal employee, I'm also a mandated reporter. So that when you have certain individuals that make false accusations to children's services, I mean that makes it worse because basically what you're doing is that there are people who have cases of possible abuse and neglect, and it's not being tended to because they have the answer to false claims and what have you. And that's the real harm that these people have done when they make false accusations against YouTube creators simply because of whatever. It could be so simply because they are women. It just could be because they are a certain thing, or it could be also regarding the people that they hang with.
Absolutely. Jose, what do you think about what Gigi said right here? She says people watch content that makes them feel something, whether negative or positive. I originally thought personally like people watch content that I guess they could gravitate towards, whether, as animals or gossip, but I guess what she's saying is actually right because people gonna gravitate to what they want to see or what they want to hear, whatever the case. What do you think about that? People watch content that makes them feel something, whether negative or positive. Hey, Ramon.
Okay. Hey, Ramon. See, people watch content for many reasons. You have people who actually enjoy the content that someone like a Gigi or Multi or you or Denise or Ramon or myself, and then there are those who watch the content to hate watch or to be overly critical regarding what they're talking about. It's very easy to open your mouth and say and comment. Okay, it's another thing when you actually take the time to actually create content. Okay, because it takes a great deal of energy getting to be get behind a computer and just talk your ish. I mean, the fact of the matter is you have to do your due diligence, you have to do research, you have to um, look at information so you could be well versed. I mean, look, I mean, people who make excellent creators, they take the time and the energy needed to produce quality content. Unfortunately, you have some people who would rather do reaction videos, um, calling people out on their ish because that's easier to do than actually create quality content.
Absolutely. I feel like, like I'm learning so much from like just, watching you guys being on panels or like being in the chats of some of you guys' things, whether live or replay. Like there's so many different avenues for YouTube. You can be the person that's giving like reviews. You can be a person that's a blogger talking about what's going on in celebrity and politics and war and news and media. You can be the person that's, doing affiliate marketing program to sell some kind of product. You can be someone who's sharing like a hair journey like me or a fitness journey. Like there's so many different clicks and areas you can be in on YouTube. But I feel like, we all gotta just figure out what suits us best or, where we get the best response at. But like me, I'm figuring it out. I guess, you have your area. I see you talk a lot about, culture and, disparities and stuff like that. Something like Ramon talk a lot about like the diasporas, or I hope I'm not saying it wrong, but you know what I'm saying. Like y'all have an angle that y'all speak about often, regarding your main content. It's never just random things. It always has like a structure or like a foundation. Y'all kind of stick to like the same areas for the most part. So it's like you just gotta find, I guess, your lane or your area. Now I know I'm still trying to like figure that out too on my end, but YouTube is different because I'm seeing a lot of things on YouTube that I'm like, all right, is this real? Is this fake? Is this for likes and views and comments? Is this like fake beef? Is this real beef? Like there's certain things I see, I'm like, I'm gonna just sit back because I'm not sure what I'm observing, what I'm watching right now. I don't know what's real, what's fake, and regardless of wherever it is, it all gets a lot of feedback, a lot of reviews, a lot of statistics and data, and algorithm numbers, so it's like, once you find it, like just take the wheels and run with it.
Well, one of the things I do believe in is each person that wants to become a celebrity, what is your passion? What is the things that interest you, and hopefully will be interested of others. I mean, if you take a look at Gigi, okay, she talks a great deal of information regarding mixed people, particularly light skinned people. Okay, she's not just there to talk her ish. She does
Right.
shares a great deal of knowledge. Okay, both not only her, but with her partner
Multi
in
also.
YouTube line, Mo.
But they do different stuff too, because I caught a live stream from Multi like a month ago talking about the submarine, the Titanic drone thing, and I think I did like a little short on it, or I think I like do a little video on it. And I like the fact that she was talking about she waited for all the gossip and all the tea to happen to do her stuff, and she talked about something I didn't even hear about. She actually spoke about like the I think the mother of the son and Prince, who's like a millionaire, billionaire. She spoke on a perspective of like, what the mother was saying about the son not wanting to go, and the father wanted to go, and it was really important to him. Like, she didn't just speak about, oh, why people going down there spending their money. Like, she gave her perspective based on, the families that lost loved ones on that little makeshift submarine thing that imploded. And I'm like, wow, like that's interesting. Like, it wasn't just, about the, Hispanic or, multiracial kind of thing. Like, I don't always watch her channel and always watch her stuff. Like, I try to catch a lot of her and Gigi's like shorts because they have like really, really lengthy streams. Like, I have to do like a couple days to catch everything, like stop, pause, to make sure I give them the whole watch hours and everything like that. But long story short, like, I really love the stream she did. I think I commented, I think I shared it, and I think she actually saw my comment. I'd be like, oh my gosh, she saw my comment. Like, when Gigi pops, I'm like, this chick has time for me. Oh my god, like she know like thou. She got like 1 point something 8K, and she has time to see what I'm doing. Ooh, like I'm on her friend list right now. Like, 'cause she made time for me. Like, she got a whole bunch going on. Same thing with Mostly. Like, they got a lot more subscribers than we do. They got various content. They have their main content, but still you'll kind of get different content outside of their main content at the same time. And it was interesting. It was so interesting to me, and I feel like I never catch them because they normally go real late. I think the YouTube police don't be outside late at night, so they be going late, and I be already like sleeping.
Okay, well, you know what? In all fairness, I mean, in all fairness, is what the haters they don't realize regarding Gigi and Multi. I mean, they do a great deal of time, researching the material. Okay, so they're not just there to talk their ish. They talk and they share a great deal of information. But of course, if you listen to the haters, that basically they're too ghetto, they're too much of baby mamas, etc., etc., etc. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is these two are very talented young ladies, and I'm fortunate. We're both fortunate to know these ladies. That's all. And for the haters, I'm saying, hey, don't hate, just
I know
appreciate
if
it.
I go to Florida, I'm like, Gigi, I'm in the state. Like, I would love to meet her. Like, I'm gonna try to meet up with you and Ramon. I heard about that situation. I'm really trying to make sure I meet you. Like, I hope I can meet all of you, honestly. If I can meet everybody who I've been on their platform or even my platform, that would be so lit. I'll probably make a whole YouTube video like when YouTube creators connect, part one.
Look, look, one thing that we'll have to deal with, we'll have to deal with haters. I mean, people have been hating me for quite some time, and the fact and people hate me because of basically two things. One, my content. Two, the people I hang out with. Some people cannot accept the fact that I'm cool with someone like Gigi or Multi or Denise or Radical Latino or Ramon or Rakim or whoever. I mean,
On
people get
me.
yeah, people get bothered over this silly stuff, and when everything is said and done, all of us have a mission. We're trying to do our best with our respected channels, and we want our respected channels to grow. And sometimes there's going to be differences. Hey, Blaze, and thank you very much for stopping by. And
Yeah, hey
please
Blaze,
hit
thanks for
the
coming
like
in.
button as you enter. But no, it's easier to hate than to create. Okay, and I say it, and it's absolutely, and you with people, you act very silly up in these YouTube streets. That's why, and I think Denise coined it very well. Let the circus be the circus, and unfortunately, sometimes the circus, well, the nut jobs are out there.
YouTube is really almost seeming to me like a whole VR experience. Like, I don't know if you ever saw that episode of Black Mirror where they have like VR episodes where like you're in another world being yourself, whether it's an anime, a cartoon. Like, it's almost like people are up here pretending to be one way and they're really another way, and it's just for hits and likes and subs and stuff. But hey, however you get it, you get it. You know, again, I'm still small. I'm only at 342 subs right now. Like, if I get the 500, or when I get the 500, I'm gonna have to twerk like, oh, don't stop, get it. But just being silly right now. I'm just saying, like, it really, you gotta pick your lane up here, because people flipping and flopping, and it's you don't know what the ops is or who was screen recording. Like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know who really following you on your day. Like, it's really weird out there. It's like, wow, this really sounds like the first 48 up here. Like, people really be trying to follow you. Like, and for real, for real.
Yeah, I mean, what's been and one thing, what makes it harder is that certain people that that you've been dealing with, and all of a sudden they turn on you for whatever reason. I mean, look, when you think about the people, that certain YouTube creators have been with for a while, and or something because of some beef, they don't want nothing, they don't want anything to do with you, and and sometimes it can be vicious with these YouTube streets when people are so concerned about getting you know getting to the top that they don't care if they crush people along the way. I mean, and then there's people who who build their channel or try to build their channels attacking others.
I feel like, honestly, since I've been on these YouTube streets with you guys, like, and joining chats, I see you guys join with other people who I may not know or may have heard about. I feel like, every YouTube creator has to have a main thing they do to get noticed, like Golden says, like a niche. And if you do or do not have a niche, you can't help that the fact that there's gonna be a time we're gonna come across someone's channel, whether in the chat or on their panel, where someone's not gonna like you or someone's not gonna agree about something you said, whether how you said it was correct or incorrect. Like, everyone's gonna have the opportunity where they have beef, or they're gonna have someone try to diss them or discredit them or downplay them for whatever reason. It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong necessarily. You're doing something right. Like you and Gigi said, like, people got haters and Irby. Like, sometimes you just got haters no matter what you're doing. You got a hater, whether someone wants to do what you're doing, but they're not doing it, or they're not doing it in the way that you're doing it or better. Like, there's gonna be always someone who's gonna critique you or try to discredit you, which should be flipped into motivation to continue to go on. But it depends on how you deal with it, I guess, as it happens in real time.
I mean, look, let me tell you something. The people that supports Gigi and Multi, I mean, you have certain creators that go after them, calling them simps and whatnot, while basically they enjoy their content. I mean, really. And it just look.
I feel like a
If
girl
you
can't
take
be
a look of
that's some dude ish. A girl can't be a simp. Like, nah. Like, that's some dude stuff. Like, only dudes can be simps unless I got the
okay,
understanding of simps wrong.
okay, but you know what? You know what I'm referring to? Referring to the men that support Gigi and Multi, which is basically Irby and myself and other men. I mean, Irby is called a simp. I get called an old, lonely, senile white guy. First of all, I'm not white. I'm not senile. I'm not lonely. I mean, look, even with all the technical Wi-Fi and internet issues that I have had, I do have an audience. I do command an audience, and now all of a sudden you have certain people that never enter my platform. All of a sudden they're making their presence felt.
I don't know, but I ain't gonna front. I do be in certain people's chats trying to sub my channel, like and subscribe to my channel, please. Like when I be in third world Colombian channel, sometimes I be throwing my little link out there, like and subscribe to my channel. If I see Tim Supreme coming, I'm like and subscribe to my channel, please, because they let me do it. They're like, throw your channel. I'm like, are you sure for real, for real? All right, good looking, thanks. So I get appreciate the people that support me. Like I know Gigi supports me. I know you. I know everybody here right now supports me, and I promise you to my babies, to my kids, I try to support all of y'all whenever I see y'all going live. Even if I just missed it and it just ended, I'm liking that drink. Even if I ain't watching this whole way through, and I watch the whole way through just to make sure I give you them watch hours. That's how I do out here in these YouTube streets, because I see, like Golden said from day one, and you all say you gotta have your community, your family, your people, which is why I was devastated when I thought my family was getting a divorce. But now we all back in the house again. We doing the same thing. We out here like the Brady Bunch, and I'm excited.
Look, I mean,
Thank you, Gigi.
I find, you know what, I find it very, very, very odd. When you have certain people that hate on certain YouTube creators. I mean, look, it's easier to complain about something you do not know, you do not understand, and it's very easy to close your mind, um, you know, and not try to approach it. Okay, all right. You know what? You know what, Ramon? Whatever. But look, the fact of the matter is this: even with all the technical difficulties, I have 225
People
subs.
hating right now, talking about your 56K. Look at them. Look at them. Hey,
Yeah,
shout out to all the OGs in
I
the
know.
chat right now that remember dial up modem. We actually heard our dial up modem connect like you got mail. Look how old we are. We remember when it was dial up modem.
Oh, please! That's so early 2001, 2002. Oh my
I had
goodness!
AIM, I had
But
AOL 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0.
okay, no, but I just wish that before people actually comment, yes, I got to, okay, I got to like, okay. When, I just wish that people, instead of comment, actually spend the time to actually look at the content itself with an open mind. And actually, I did something that I actually never done before. I actually visited a YouTube creator known as Misunderstood, who has, I think, 12,000 or 13,000 subs.
I
So
saw that
I
on Jesus
visited her.
Street. I saw that she's an African American sister,
Yeah.
kind of slim, light skinned.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, like I don't know, like you were kind of lagging a little bit. Like I feel like I gotta watch it again, like because I don't know if it was you lagging or her lagging, but like the facial expression was like kind of weird in that stream. But you were very respectful to her. I don't know anything about her, honestly speaking, but I was like, all right, let me see what this is. That was me eating my popcorn in the background with myself, with like, like what's going on here? What's this about? But I love y'all. Y'all love
Okay,
me.
okay, but you know what? To be perfectly fair, I was nervous because unfortunately, Gordon Goddess appeared on her platform and she was not treated very well by the panel. So who I didn't know I was going to get.
Oh, Gigi
But
said
I
she.
see that the minute I
Okay, I thought she was a black girl. My bad. Sorry about that. Okay, so she's
well,
ugly.
okay, so at one point she's kind of like put me on hold because she was afraid that I was going to say something
I
controversial,
heard
and
that.
all I alluded to was a stream that I did dispelling the myths regarding black women, which you appeared.
Yes, and I remember you saying that. So I don't follow her, but I definitely want to check out more of her content to see like what she generally does on a regular basis, like what kind of YouTube creator she is, so get kind of gist of what she does. But yeah, I definitely want to see more about her. That was a very interesting stream from what I saw. I don't know if I saw the full content of the stream, but I'm gonna check your channel to make sure I did.
Well, the fact of the matter is, she has an interesting story. She used to abuse substances, and she's been clean for over 400 days, which is that's a
A
that's a
year,
major
that's some change.
achievement. So yeah,
Yeah.
considering the temptation is always there, uh, to relapse and what have you. And it's it was, like I said, I was nervous, and and to be perfectly honest, I didn't indicate that I'm at it for Gigi because unfortunately I saw how Gigi respond. She was attacked, and of course, people love to attack others who's associated with certain YouTube creators.
Okay,
Yes,
interesting. So she's a
her
recurring
channel is being regarded.
interesting. I've never come across anyone's channel like that. Now I really want to look at her channel. Well, very interesting. It's really interesting to see how many people have different content they cover. You know, because I'm associated with you guys, I kind of only see the things you guys post. I'm only looking at YouTube when I'm looking for like music or like my own stuff or you guys' stuff or like certain things like how to cook something or how to DIY something. I use YouTube for different things, so I'm not normally looking at like YouTube creators or certain YouTube creators anything unless I heard or saw you guys talk with people. I'm like, all right, who's this person? Who's that person? Like, I'll hear names, I'll see certain names in chats on all you guys' channels that commonly pop up on all you guys' channels, like Blood Moon um or there's another moon in there. I heard another moon in one of you guys' chats before. Like, I don't know these people, but I know they're associated with you guys. So when I see them, like, all right, those are good people, or those are people that know all of you guys, you know. So like Don Armando, like I'll see him in all of you guys' channels, more you and Ramon, but you know, there's certain names I see. I'm like, okay, I've seen this person's name before, or I saw them in someone's chat, so I know they're part of you guys' spears, so to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this. I mean, there are many different sectors here on these YouTube streets. I mean, you have the Latino sector, you have the biracial sector, and out of that sector, you have other smaller sectors and what have you. And then you have certain individuals who they have this obsession regarding certain beliefs and philosophies. Um, like I said, look, not everyone can be their favorite YouTube creator. There are people who cannot stand me because I'm too blind, I'm too this, I'm too polite, or I hang out with this person. I mean, they don't want to deal with me because I hang out with these people. And it's like, well, you know what? You don't want to hang with me. You know what? No one's forcing you.
Right? Like, shoot it. Be out of here. Peace out, Holmes. I'm
Yeah.
delayed.
I mean, look, if I got $1 for every time people refer to me as an old, senile, lonely white man, okay, I'll be a minute. First of all, I'm not white. I'm Latino. Number one. Number two, I'm friendly. I'm not alert. Number three, I'm not lonely. I know a lot of people in a lot of circles. Okay, some of the circles, some of the people in our circles, Keisha. So it's like this whole notion that I am old, lonely, senile, and white. Mm,
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people that are not for what we're doing, point blank, period. They're not gonna find it interesting, entertaining. They're not gonna support it. They're not gonna like it. And there's not much we can do about those people. You know, it is what it is. You know, we all have something for someone, you know, and we're not all for everyone. So we all get that at this point. But, you know, I feel like certain people can be nice about it or mean about it. And it's like, you know, do unto others as you want done to you. Like if you don't like my content or what I'm talking about, swipe away. Don't engage, don't entertain, don't watch, don't comment because it clearly is not for you. And if it's not for you, it shouldn't be in my space. Not me, but for everyone who has weirdos popped in their stream saying inappropriate things that really are not positive or helping the channel or the algorithm at all. Like, for those people, you have to really just, dismiss them, discredit them, like not give them the time of day because they're not here for us genuinely anyway.
Well, look, when everything is said and done,
That's
when
Ernie
everything
Patel we
is said,
know right now.
no, but when everything is said and done, there's literally millions and millions of YouTube creators that you can go and check out their content, whether it be if you're into cooking, whether you're into science fiction, you're into drama, or what have you. So, you know, if people don't like my content, hey, no one's forcing you to consume it. No one's forcing you to consume Gigi's content or Multi or whoever. I mean, we all want to just be our own individual selves and be the best version of ourselves.
Absolutely. And we're all out here learning and trying to grow and be better every day, every step of the way. We're not out here trying to steal anyone's ideas or content. We're just trying to learn our lane. That's it. That's all. We can't help that we're going to come across haters or people that are going to feel like we're sending jabs or threats at them because they may fit the bill of what they look or sound like. But it may not necessarily be that way. It may just, come around as incidental or coincidental sometimes. And that's just what it is, like, again, everyone is not here to steal someone's spotlight or platform or, copy someone to the T necessarily, but we're all out here trying to get to the same, area. Everyone's out here trying to make money. Let's keep it real, trying to get likes, trying to get subs, trying to get monetized. Like, we know that if you're not, then you're just really faking Jack, so to say. That's a throwback. You know what I'm saying? You're faking Jack. You're not being real.
Yeah. I mean, I had one YouTube creator that got, you know, you know, anal because I regarding feminism. And instead of confronting me directly, man to man, like a man should do, he went through this individual went through a third party. So this is coming from the person that is such a man. He's a man's man, but yet you decide to go through a woman to try to address someone else because you disagree with my content. No one's asking you to like my content. No one's forcing you to hear my content. You don't want to hear my content? You know, take a Coca-Cola and have a good day and leave me alone.
I feel you. What you talking about? You're not gonna promote it. I ain't do nothing to you. I heart you all day, every day. What we talking about here, sis? Clarify that, please. Um, yeah, it's just crazy out here. But you guys
You
can.
know what? You know, okay. Well, I don't know if Gigi is able to join the panel. She may not be able. But
She may be
you
working right
know,
now. I think she works at this
but
time.
I wouldn't. But I wouldn't read more to it than what it is.
Yeah, okay, because I know I don't be knowing everything and everybody sometimes. So like I think I'm a little bit lost, but I've been talking and not watching the chat, so I may be like out of the loop and maybe commenting delayed and maybe commenting on the wrong thing right now. I'm not sure.
Well, look. I mean, people like to make crazy
Okay.
assumptions regarding. Oh, okay. Okay, no problem, Gigi. It's understood, but but getting back, I mean, um, you know, it's not easy to be a serious YouTube creator when you have to deal with the ops that we all have. I mean, whether it be whether it be Denise, whether it be Gigi Multi or whatever. Because unfortunately, after a while, everyone is going to have ops. Okay, it's nothing. It's nothing other than the ordinary. I mean, eventually,
Mhm.
every YouTube creator, once they grow to a certain point, they're going to have ops. It's unfortunate.
And ops can be a positive thing, in disguise. Ops can, also hitting the algorithm, definitely getting you likes and subscribers and watch times. So it could be a positive depending on how you want to spin it.
Well, I mean, one thing about that the ops do that they don't understand is when they talk about you, what they're doing is they're giving you free press, and that's something that
Hmm.
people they don't understand.
Absolutely not. Like
They
they
do
they
not
don't realize
understand.
the free press.
No, I mean, look, when people when people talk about me and everything like that, and as far as you know making whatever accusations and whatnot. I mean, look, all they're doing is letting people know who who we are.
Okay, I get that. I definitely get that. I see Gigi says she wants to hit a different algorithm. Understood, understood. I feel like always, as always, I'm always like way off topic, but I gotta find those topics that really hit home to hit like the YouTube standards to like get people to chime in. But this conversation is about pretty much policing our own communities, what we thought, and you definitely did give me feedback and input on what you thought regarding policing our communities and what you felt like was positive or negative, and I want to just bring that up. That's a nice conversation was about policing our community, and if we think it's a good idea, if we got the option to police our own community versus having our regular police department do so. So that was a nice conversation. I want to just throw that up here real quick because I feel like we strung way away from it, but it's all good because we didn't have like too much to say about it. So just wanted to like throw that in there real quickly. And please make sure you like and subscribe to Uncommon Sense with Jose and the Grown, as well as Golden Goddess, Herbie Fatal, and Introvert Barwiqua as well. Make sure you hit them up, show them some love. They're in the chat right now. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And like and subscribe to my channel too, as well as Blasian King. Blasian King is here as well. I didn't want to forget anybody from day one in the beginning of the chat because it's all the way at the top right now. But yeah, Jose, you keep on going. I'm sorry, I wanted to just say that.
No, you know what? It's okay. It's perfectly fine. And look, when everything is said and done, every serious YouTube creator has got to be true to their individual selves and what is their what I like to call their mission statement. Okay, and their mission statement will vary depending on the YouTube creators. Sorry, but
No problem.
when everything is when everything is said and done, um, we all try to be the best version of ourselves. And I see that the Team Leathers in the chat. Good evening, Makim. And it seems like everybody's doing a stream tonight because of Rakim's doing the stream and also the Radical Latino. So it's like,
Yes, I just saw. I went to my phone and I see Rakim is streaming and Radical just uploaded 2 new videos 32 seconds ago.
yeah, yeah. But
So I don't really have much more to add to this, Jose. If you want to add more to this, you can. I definitely want to jump in everyone else's chat and streams and show them love because I had a lot of people here. I had 8 people here at one point, and that's a big deal for me. So I can really wrap this up and show that love to other people that are in our community of people that we support. Shout out to the 18th letter, Husby out there putting me out there, Blasian, Golden, Irby. I can really wrap this up. We can show our love to our other YouTube creators that show us that same love too.
yeah, Well, just my next stream will be on Tuesday, and the topic is going to be being agreeable when we disagree. That seemed to be a very lost art. So I'm going to be talking about how we can be agreeable when we disagree. Hopefully, you'll be able to pop in and share your points of view, and I will share my points of view regarding um, the topic.
Of course, I'll definitely try to do that. I've been spending a lot of time with you some who whatever the case is, so that's why I couldn't pop in on your stream the other day because I can't be revealing all that stuff in front of that person. So it was kind of like, ooh, I could be in the chat, but I can't do all other stuff. But for sure, I
Yeah,
definitely respect and appreciate that, understand that. But that was a really good stream we had going, and I was trying to be in the chat as much as possible without distancing myself. Yeah, but yeah,
yeah.
what
No,
you were saying.
I think this was a great stream.
I think I liked it too. It definitely didn't go the direction I wanted it to go, but I liked it in the end. Just like you and everyone else here, I'm trying to plan and prep behind the scenes and have the whole dialogue and a few streams set up in one, so it's not like last minute razzle dazzle. So I'm happy with what it looks like and how it came out. I know people can relate to it, may catch us in a replay, may have caught it live. It's all good. We all support each other at the end of the day, and I'm happy that people were able to spend some time with me and make me a small part of their 24-hour day. Like that means a lot because I'm just a regular girl from the Bronx, and no, I don't know Cardi B or Jay Z or nobody, but you guys spent time to just say, "Hey, I'm gonna pop in and see what she's talking about." Despite mad people going live right now, like that's spending time with me, and that makes me feel special.
Mhm. Well, I just encourage everyone out there, if you have not done so, please subscribe to Wine and FaceTime. And of course, please subscribe to my channel. Also, subscribe to Golden Goddess and Ramon and the 18th letter. So, um, look, and look, we are blessed to have a collective of people who are very knowledgeable with their content and really receptive for what we try to do.
Absolutely. And again, like Ramon said, we real ones, we day ones, we day ones, which is why when I start my stream, I always say, shout out to my day one subs, shout out to my new subs, because you gotta pay homage, you gotta say thank you, you gotta give respect to who shows you what and who pulls up for what and who shows up for you the way you want to, the way you respect it, the way you appreciate it. And sometimes we're not always gonna get gratified and told in that way, but sometimes we don't need to be told. We see right here in the chats who's pulling up in the panel, who's texting us saying, "I'm sorry, I can't pop on right now, but I'm gonna share your screen." Like we know who our day ones, who our real ones are, who supports us, who don't support us. We know who those people are without having to say them all the time, but we say them just to make sure that they know we rock out with them. And there's no funniness, there's no shadiness. It's just realness. If I can't just catch your stream, guess what? I'm gonna tell somebody else to catch your stream. I'm gonna watch it when I have time. Like that's what we do for each other, and that's what's important, and that's what's respected, and that's what rocks. Like right now, we're gonna all lock out of this stream. We're gonna hit the 18th letter, and we're gonna hit radical at the same time. We're gonna go bounce back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We're gonna support the best way we can because again, when people support you, you support them. That's how you build that relationship and that network, and that's how you learn from people.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
Okay, guys, so I'm definitely wrapping this up. I don't know who AMR is. I think I just subscribed to him. I saw him on Jose's channel at one point, but I'm shutting this down. Happy weekend. It's a Saturday night. Saturday night. We got people who we support live right now. Let's jump in their streams. Let's hit that like button. Let's hit that share, subscribe. Let's show them love like y'all showing me love right now. Peace out. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Jose, for popping in on this conversation regarding policing our own communities. Fair use for anything that I'm gonna do after Jose pops out. But thank you guys for rocking out with me. You can be anywhere in the world, else in the world. You can give me a couple of minutes of your time, and I really, really
No,
appreciate
that's
your
it.
time.
No, that's it. Thank you. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.
You,
Have a good night and be safe out there.
you too. Have a good one. I'll see you soon on somebody's stream. All right, guys. So
You too. Take care. Bye.
you welcome. Bye bye. This was episode 32 of Wine and FaceTime tonight. I was talking about policing our own communities. I wanted to send a shout out to everyone in the chat, everyone who's going to catch this live and the replay. Thank you guys for being here with me tonight. Definitely make sure you subscribe to everyone's name that's in the chat right now. I said it before. We got Blasian King, Golden Goddess, Ramon, Introvert Week, Irby Fatal. Who else do we have in here? I've said this already, show my people some love, show me some love, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate y'all. This has been a real episode of Wine and FaceTime, episode 32. Wanted to rock out with y'all, give y'all my feedback, my thoughts, my views, my opinions, and what I think about policing our own community. Fair use. I wanted to hit y'all with an intro, but I missed that intro because I jumped right into the stream. I didn't want to be late, but Golden Goddess is the queen of this. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, sharing my content, popping in with me, whether I'm late on time. I really appreciate you guys. Please and make sure you enjoy your summer. Be safe, be well. Support everybody who supports you. Give them a thumbs up when you see them. It's your girl, Michelle, aka Fit, here with a Wine and FaceTime video. I'm logging out. Peace out to you guys. I will catch you guys in the next person's stream again. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I really can appreciate that for the algorithm and for the support. You know what I mean? Our main topic tonight again was policing our own community, fair use. I'm out here in these YouTube streets doing what I do. So peace out, you guys. Hope all is well. I'll catch you guys on the next one. The next one I'll be talking about episode 33, my locked hair journey, where I am, where I've been, how it's been, day one to now. Shout out to my day one subs. I appreciate you guys so much. Shout out to the brand new subs. And not to forget, I am still introducing those $10 meal plans, 2 snacks, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, $10, raw, vegan, cardio, protein, you name it, I got it. It's your girl, Michelle, aka Fit.
Okay. I work out all the time. I can do lots of different moves. Have never been able to do one full push-up.
Push-ups are the best way to start your day.
I will try one standard push-up.
It's not the best push-up, but I can get down and get back up.